You live, you die. Now we're talking.
Assalamu alaikum everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Real Talk Deen and Dunya. I am one of your hosts, Mustafa Talib.
And I'm one of your hosts, Abdurrahman Talib.
And I'm one of your hosts, Ayman Talib.
And today we are going to be continuing the discussion of mentors. Mr. Abdurrahman, take it away.
So we shared some stories about one of our mentors in the previous previous episode that had one of the biggest impacts on us, our uncle, Ammu Marwan Ma'ruf. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to ease his situation, his condition.
Hashtag because of Marwan.
Because of Marwan. And return him to his family and community soon.
Ameen.
So we wanted to share some stories about some other individuals who had a similar impact on us.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
There's the expression that it takes a village.
Yes.
And we had
a lot of people in the village.
We were very fortunate. You can say we were blessed to have a wonderful village around us.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Praise be to God.
And so they all played a significant role. So we're going to just kind of take it away. We'll start with one of Baba's older friends who was very much involved in our lives and really kind of set the tone for us in terms of like media consumption. Yes, V1.
The one.
The only.
I'm going to
ask.
And take it away.
Where do you start?
So I think after
we would literally have conversations
with just quotes and references and the whole thing.
We would just like, he would start, he would just start just randomly. He was like, where's your mom? My mom's in the car. Where's your dad? He's at work. And we just bounce off each other at, like line after line. We just knew.
And I can't tell you that.
Why not?
Because you're a stranger. Home Alone 1.
Yeah.
I have a memory being in their home, and I think first time watching Lion King animated in 1994 in Arabic.
Right.
On VHS.
Yeah.
زعمتني أستاذ خنزير.
That was the line from Lion King when Pumbaa said, "They call me Mr. Pig."
On a side note, the Arabic version of Lion King, some of it's straight up hilarious. Like in the Lion King, the original Lion King, after the scene at the elephant graveyard, and
the hyenas.
Mufasa, and
before.
So after that scene, Mufasa sends Nala home with Zazu, and he says,
take Nala home.
Right.
I've got to teach my son a lesson.
And so, so Zazu comes over and he says, "Come, Nala." And he puts his hand around something. He goes, "Simba, good luck." In Arabic, it's so much funnier.
Why?
Because he's like, "Simba, Rabbina ma'ak." Which is...
God be with you. Which is the same context, because you translate based on context, not necessarily verbatim. Because he's Egyptian, yes.
Like, our Lord's with you, like you're dead.
Like you're about to get cooked, bro.
Masri.
So
he was the one who actually introduced me to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Baba talked about it, but the first time I ever watched anything from Star Wars, we actually rented. We borrowed it like this Blockbuster video.
No. But he actually owned a VHS copy
of Return of the Jedi.
The trilogy.
Oh,
the original trilogy, the original release on VHS. And I remember he showed me the first one, the original Star Wars. And then I come to find out later, this was I believe the first movie that Baba watched in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Growing up in the drive-in theater.
Yeah.
Right.
Harb al-Kawakib.
Harb al-Kawakib.
Yeah, the Star Wars.
The Star Wars. With the was there.
Yeah.
And so I think it's safe to say that after Mama and Baba introducing us to the arts, this guy had the biggest influence in terms of just media consumption, just introducing us to all the things.
He would be like our personal Mr. Bean. Because he loved Mr. Bean.
I think my
physical comedy, the Chris Farley.
My love of physical comedy comes from him. It's like the guy, like the SNL skits where he like falls on the table. And I'm like, so even to this day, like I see somebody fall down, my first instinct is to laugh, and then I check if they're okay, and I'm like, that's a problem. But it's, I need to kind of rewire my brain here.
A lot of times I would remember like Hot Shots Part 2.
Bardieu. Freaking French.
I think I was introduced from Amunidad as well.
It's the slapstick comedies from the 80s and the 90s, like so.
Even before that,
and all
the Three Stooges,
Right.
Same thing.
Right, the whole this was always the thing. Grab your ear, come on,
Man, yeah.
And then also like
making the pancakes on the iron board.
Who wants lunch? Grabs the scissors to cut them.
and then he also introduced Lion of the Desert to me. That was him.
Oh,
So like it wasn't just the comedy, the slapstick. Don't get me wrong, that was the lion's share of it, right? But he also, did the more serious stuff, and more importantly, all of it, everything, was connected to a deeper meaning, right? It's like, well, what do you think of this? What's the takeaway?
yeah.
What's the takeaway? Right? He, that was always there, like that growth element, right? So that was always there. Yeah.
Um,
In addition to that, as we kind of grew up, he was one of those that took us under his wing and like you were saying, like the serious stuff too. Like he even at one point led a halaqah that I was a part of, and it was more of like an exclusive halaqah, and there was a few of us that were part of it
By invitation.
That was the very first time I ever heard the word aqidah, which just means creed. Before anybody freaks out, it just means creed.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to look up look up this word. He's the one actually. So later on, again, we had all gone to like Islamic school and learned how to write Arabic at a younger age, but you don't practice it, and so
You don't speak it, whatever.
right. And so he, along with another one of the mentors that we're going to mention later, he actually was all about the arts, and so he was like, no, this is how we're gonna write in Arabic, and we're gonna do this and that, and just so that we can. So I definitely
associate like the writing with the sound.
No, I was just the actual, just like the basic, like like penmanship in Arabic.
Okay,
like
cool.
having nice penmanship.
Arab, can you draw sounds?
You have to do it right.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you draw sounds? Draw sounds. Yes, I can draw sounds, and I can speak them back. Show me. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet. 2 scenes later, they land where they're supposed to land. Arab, speak what I draw. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his prophet.
Correcting it. Yeah.
13th Warrior.
Bullseye.
13th Warrior. If you have not checked out this movie, it is seriously one of the most underrated movies ever made.
It's Beowulf.
And it flopped in the theater.
From the director of from the writer of Jurassic Park and the director of Die Hard.
Right.
It's actually it says it right.
Right there on the poster.
Yeah, there it is. It says it right there. I have the same poster in my class, and people are like, "What is that one?"
There it is.
I actually will use a reference from this movie to encourage my students. They're like, "We don't know how to. We our test is in 2 days, and we haven't learned the thing." Like, no, you have, and then they're like, "Oh no, but I can't do it." Get smarter. Right. And so it goes back to this thing, right? So it's like they just landed at the shores of the place up north.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, Arab, you will need this." And he throws a sword at him. Like, first of all, he's throwing a sword. Like, what are you doing, bro? But it's in the scabbard. It's in the sheath. But he throws a sword. He grabs it, and he's much smaller than all these Northmen. And so he's, "I cannot live this." And he looks at him and goes, "Grow stronger." This is his solution to die or don't die is grow stronger right now. You have to do it right now. Bro, this is not how muscle growth works, but whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then later, do you have a metal work? We're going to get way off.
Yeah.
It's a great movie.
So Amunidad introduced me to 13th Warrior.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
And he was like, this movie is like 1998, right? 9/11 hadn't happened yet, and Arabs, right, were already like have a long history, long track record of being shown in a demonic and
Barbaric,
uneducated,
very
caricature
this caricature of
backwards, uncivilized.
Right. What's great about his character.
So what this movie does
his
is that
character is actually very well educated.
he
He's a
is
writer.
the civilized guy.
Right. When they're all washing their face, he's like,
no.
No.
in the same bowl. They're all throwing their snot
He
in
is the
and
civilized
whatever.
guy. He's clean.
I don't want to.
He's clean. He is composed. Homie is hygienic. Right? We things we take for
They hadn't
granted.
reached Europe yet.
You know, no, they were in the Dark Ages, right? And it was showing like he was the civilized guy. He was
Pretty
the clean
cloudy,
guy.
too.
He took care of himself. He was groomed. He was everything. These guys were the savages. Straight up, they were literally
They slept. They woke up where they fell asleep from drinking the night before.
Yeah.
And then they like passed around this bowl to kind of wash, and then just like they all wash their face and spit, and like, and he was like, "Oh my god!"
They were literally barbarians.
Right.
They were like, you know,
Vikings.
yeah. Well,
Not yet.
No, they were.
No, they were.
They called themselves. They were the Northmen, but they're Vikings.
Right.
Yeah. But they were in moments like what we talked about before, him being educated, he can read and write, and he's a poet, right? So Samuel, but he was like he pointed this out to me. He was like, this movie flopped in Hollywood. Why?
Well,
Think
it showed
about
Muslims
it.
in a positive light.
It showed Muslims in a positive light, especially contrast to, and I'm going to say it out loud, ladies and gentlemen, contrast to the white man.
And so I think hand in hand with Amr goes Amr Ayman Tahiliya.
100%.
Yes.
Because he brings the other side. So he was when I said the other man, the other leader of the halaqah with the art and stuff.
Yes.
That was his thing. But he was also, and I mean, I say that was his thing, but he is, mashallah, he was a person that had a lot of what we call like cultured thought. He was exposed to a lot of things, not just art, but he was the sports guy.
Yeah.
At every community gathering, picnic, whatever it was in the park, you're like, yalla shabab, let's go. Come on, we're gonna go play a game. Pick up game, whatever, basketball, soccer, football,
volleyball.
we're doing volleyball, whatever it is, we're gonna play, and I'm putting myself in charge of all that. And so like when we say like they were like the community, like we're gonna play around, like do like the games and all that stuff. He was the one that was responsible for that. So like you can say like the love of sport or whatever, it came from him.
Right.
Yeah.
In addition to that, but again, the thing about these men that we're mentioning, these mentors that we had, was that they were all also God-centered men. So everything came back to that.
Yeah.
Driving anything. As I got older, I always wondered, like, was there some kind of collaboration in that, like,
This is your task, and this is your task.
to raise this group that are within our reach that we connect to.
This is the village meeting.
How are we going?
You are in charge.
Right. How are we going to raise?
sports.
How are we going to raise
You are in
everybody
charge
together?
of the food.
Yeah.
You are in charge of make them laugh. That's
So with that, like, it makes me curious. Was there any type of like?
no, I don't.
Or just came naturally, like,
Yeah.
oh, like
Very
they're going through
natural.
these. They're going through these parts of
Everyone-
life. Let's step in and
everyone
help.
everyone has like they all brought their own, like the thing that made them unique, that said we
Their
need to instill
passions.
this thing into these people.
Yeah.
Whether it was the art stuff, whether it was
The dean.
That's the back. It was,
The dean was the
that
bedrock
was the
of everything.
underlying. That was the foundation of everything that
Right,
it
it was all-
all came back to it.
Right.
Again, all these mentors that we're mentioning, at some point they were a halaqah leader for us or something
Yeah.
like that. But they also did all these other things for the entire community.
Mm-hmm.
And they were also people that we could call up on and ask for advice and whatnot.
Guidance, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Next,
Ooh. Who do you got? I got some names, by the way, that we didn't even discuss in the,
Go ahead.
Okay. So, Abu Bakr.
Oh, man.
Right? You want to talk about the arts? This guy's an artist.
100%.
And in more than one way.
Through
Yeah.
and through.
The guy's a poet. You haven't checked out his book, check it out. Well, inshallah, I am hopeful that we can get one of his daughters on the podcast so we can talk about it some more.
yeah,
But I'm, so between writing words, painting, you know how like people like from time to time parents like they'll paint the walls of their kids like different colors. Homie did murals, straight up murals in his kids' bedrooms. Allah faraj alayh. May Allah keep it, make his situation easy. He's serving an unjust prison sentence. Well, inshallah, we'll talk about it at a later time.
yeah.
But one story that stuck with me, it did not happen. I can tell you stories about things that happened with him, but bringing it to the arts, he was talking about how when he was growing up, in his halaqah, and they went over Hadith Jibreel, right? So, the very famous long hadith of when Jibreel came in the form of a man to the Prophet ﷺ, and he asked all these questions, and at the end of the hadith, he leaves, and the Prophet ﷺ asked the Sahaba, "Aren't you going to ask me who that was?" And he says, Allah and His Messenger know best, and he said, "That was Jibreel. He came to teach you your religion." So the sheikh asked, or the teacher asked the halaqah when Amr Shukri was a young man to the halaqah. He asked them, "So what's your takeaway? What do you guys think of this?" Right? What do you guys think of this hadith? So Amr Shukri thinks about it for a second. And he asked his group leader, halaqah leader. He said, "So from this hadith, is acting halal?"
Wow, that's on his mind.
And the way that we interpret things, man, subhanAllah.
See how he was thinking.
Yeah.
Right? Is acting halal? Jibreel alayhi salam came in the form of a man, put on a costume.
Did an impression.
In fact, he was known to always have the look of a particular sahabi, and the name escapes me right now. But he had the same exact look. So he put on a costume, physically as well as clothes, looked very clean. Right, he was like wearing the whitest of robes. He had the blackest of beards. Right, very handsome, very particular pristine look. Right, no signs of travel on him. Right, that's all mentioned in the hadith. He came to the Prophet ﷺ, he cut through the whole crowd, and he sat in front of the Prophet ﷺ directly, knee to knee, and put his hands on his thighs and on the Prophet's thighs, and started asking him questions. Questions he already knew the answer to.
He knows his lines.
How do we know he knew the answers? Because he told them, "Sadaqt." And the Sahaba were like, "What?"
Which means he spoke the truth.
Yeah, so which means he spoke the truth. So he put on an act, and he used acting
to teach a lesson
as a teaching tool.
Wow. Very nice.
And this is how Amr Shukri thought of it.
So this is just like a glimpse. This is just a hint, taste of how Amr Shukri had an impact on our lives in the way.
It's a tool. Any one of these Ammos that we're talking about, all these uncles that we had, whenever there was an opportunity to utilize the tool to teach, to enrich, to empower the future, because that's all it was about,
right? Which
is us.
Ammo Ghassan Hito.
Go. What do you got?
Just a community leader. I think if you ask the question of, like, if there was one individual in our community that had like the leadership, like, I am gonna take that role. And again, it's not like I'm searching for that role. It's more of people are pushing me to that role because of the qualities that I have in terms
just
of like
charisma and the way he carried himself.
The way he carried himself. The unapologetic, I'm a Muslim.
Yep. And what I think is unique about it, I'm going to say something weird. Maybe it sounds weird in this context. I think it's because he did not have a beard. Or he doesn't. Like,
very Syrian mustache.
Very Syrian mustache. And he has. So I've always noticed this about him, mashallah, is that Amr Ghassan always had people from all over the spectrum in their practice of Islam, whether they were Muslim in name only, all the way to wearing Islam on their sleeve. They gravitated towards him. Well, I would say he was comfortable. I think this is more important. He was comfortable with whoever, and he was relatable to whoever was around him in that regard. And because he had leadership skills and leadership poise and charisma, so he was kind of just pushed. And like pushed into the, you go represent us on this one, right? You go talk on this one.
Very strategic.
Right? Speaking of talking, he actually was he was the voice of the Dallas Muslim community.
Yes.
For a radio show that we had for a while as a community.
Sure.
And
I remember that.
And like, I'm just thinking about it.
I filled in as the DJ mixer guy one time for that show.
Right.
Because of him, he asked me to.
Wow. Yeah. So like I think it's kind of like it's interesting that he used to do that like as a thing, and then now here we are talking about him doing that thing on our own little show. SubhanAllah. Yeah.
Yep.
SubhanAllah.
Who else you got in mind? I got plenty of guys.
Aftab.
Let's go with Mr. Muhammad Aftab, D1 and only.
Yes. Somebody, again, one of my halaqah leaders, somebody that during, in high school and in college, would it be part of his halaqah, and he always actually looked at us as a very interesting, as a group, like as our family. He brought the term cultured thought into my brain. Like I had never heard this expression before, because he was like, you are somebody, when I look at you and I look at he goes, mashallah, I look at you and I look at your family, you have delved into things that most Muslim families stay away from. And I mean that, and it sounds kind of weird or whatever.
What are you talking about, bro?
Well, so for example, we all played an instrument growing up. And and we embraced the arts, which is also very just like, not just like it, and that's such a weird thing, right? There's a stigma about artists, about art and all that in all its forms, and I hope to talk about that someday on the show. But because of that, because of our experiences, also like you were in marching band, right? And I was in football and powerlifting and track and field.
We were in this. I mean, I wasn't exactly in Islamic school. I was in the daycare, but you guys and our sister were in Islamic school. And then we went to public school after. So transitioning, seeing both the bubble, being in the bubble, and then being out in the world, and intertwining with that.
It's worth mentioning always when you're talking about Islamic schooling and the role of Islamic schooling in children, to always put in the context that it is supplemental and not essential, because the home is the first school of the child.
Correct.
The parents are the first teachers. If you don't have Islam at home, I'm going to piss off some people, but it is what it is. If you don't have Islam at home and you send your kids to Islamic school, that is a waste of time and money.
Yep. Islamic school is not going to fix your child.
It's
not a magic pill.
It's not going to fix what's not happening at home already.
Yeah, and they're not going to
just to be very clear.
Yeah,
it's supposed to reinforce.
It's supposed to be reinforcing.
You're providing an environment, an Islamic environment outside the home, and this supplemental. Again, it's supplemental to what's already happening at home.
Yeah.
But if what's happening at home is not
correct,
then I'm not going to say it's a waste of time, but I'm definitely going to say, like, I would. And to each their own, I guess.
Sure.
So the other thing,
and you're an educator, so maybe you know better.
And so that's actually what I was going to bring up next, is that he was a role model for me as an educator, because he's an educator. He's an educator by profession. He was a teacher. And he was a teacher, and then he was a principal, a leader, like a leader of the whole school. And
then he got promoted to superintendent.
Right.
Mashallah.
You're right. So like, and that's the thing. So like, he's something that he's not just an attendant. He's a superintendent. And so again, so just from a professional point of view, like I look up to him for that reason as well, just because he's in my field. And so I aspire to be somebody who has an impact on students' lives, like he has had an impact on students' lives throughout the years.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. There are three that I want to talk about that had a particular impact on my life as far as mentors go. Brother Thomas Muhammad.
May Allah have mercy on him.
Allah have mercy on his soul. And brother and Unc Mustafa Talib is right here.
Hi.
Unc Mustafa Carroll and Imam Mahdi Bray.
Allah.
Okay. The lessons imparted from them and the care that they took, I'm going to speak for myself, in teaching me specifically, taking me out to lunch, talking to me, connecting the dots between what happened in the civil rights movement in general, and imparting on me their own personal experiences within the civil rights movement, and connecting the dots to the struggle for Muslims in America with regards to the struggle for justice and freedom.
Post 9/11.
Post 9/11, right? So Imam Mahdi Bray, he was the one who said, it's like, I'm black when I'm driving, and I'm Muslim when I'm flying. It's like, that kind of thing, right? Brother Thomas Muhammad, the sheer izzah behind this guy, right? I mean, he had so much.
How do you translate izzah?
Like good pride.
But it's like good pride.
Like the good pride, not arrogance.
Right.
Okay. like of his
It's pride of who I am.
of self pride of who you are.
Right.
Like
Your
like,
identity, yeah.
yeah. And him being Muslim was the number one, right? And so and he told me, like, just like I'm proud of being black man, you be proud to be Arab. Like he was like, and he made it. He was the one who showed me, and he was like that. And when you're living in this country, if you are not white, you are being treated as subpar. He was very frank about it. He gave me more specific words that I won't repeat here, but the idea was that you got to know where you are to figure out where you're going to go. I was in a meeting one time. I sat in on a meeting with the leaders of Dallas-Fort Worth Muslim leadership, and the bulk of the room were immigrant Muslims coming from predominantly the Arab world, the Indian subcontinent, some from Africa, right? Like actual immigrant from Africa. And then you had, at the head of the table, or well, I perceive the head of the table, Brother Thomas Muhammad and Brother Uncle Mustafa Carroll. And everybody was like, how should we respond to this whole post-9/11 situation? We're being targeted, our organizations, our people, our leaders being targeted, right? And they were like voicing off their concerns. And Brother Thomas and Uncle Mustafa were like, brothers, we've seen this before. We know this playbook. We've been fighting this battle for the last 50 years. Welcome to the party.
Yeah.
Okay? Like we need to get out of this mindset that we are going to have a comfortable lifestyle so long as we seek professional jobs. There's going to make us likable among the general population, right? Mm-hmm. But then we saw it firsthand that just because you look like somebody that they hated, that's it. All bets are off.
I like what Mustafa Carroll says. I don't care if you like me, but you will respect me. Full stop. Period.
Yeah.
We don't have to assimilate. We need to be who we are, proud of who we are.
100%.
And defend ourselves using the system that is supposed to be all for all.
Right. So we use the system to change the system to make it work for everybody.
And on the note of being proud, I need to introduce somebody else.
Go.
Ah, yes.
Proud to be a Muslim.
Allahu Akbar.
God is great. I'm Wafid.
Abdul Qadir.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah, he's
out.
He's out. Alhamdulillah. We've had the chance to visit him a few times.
Yeah.
I visited him a couple times on the
He instilled in us that trope.
Yeah.
Proud to be a Muslim. Allahu Akbar. Say this over and over throughout the years, because let it be ingrained in who you are, and embrace that and go.
Yep.
And everything that you do, anything.
He kind of substantiated the phrase مخلصين له الدين ولو كره الكافرون.
And I don't care.
I want to
say something else, but it's not appropriate.
Yeah. I don't care. I don't give a damn. I really don't. Right? How you think about Islam, how you think about Muslims, how you think about Allah, how you think about all these things that, the trigger words.
It shouldn't bother us.
I really don't care, because I'm not coming from a place of balance. I'm coming from a place of center. I'm coming from a place of what Islam is saying, not somewhere between the extremes.
Right.
I'm talking about what Islam actually says and teaches. We need to be proud of it.
Center.
On a side note of that, just that expression, that phrase.
Yeah.
We say it every twice a year like as we're going to Eid, and it's the takbirat al-Eid. Walau kariha al-kafir. And for the longest time it was this like jolly thing that we say, and then it wasn't really until I guess I was maybe in late high school or even college where I heard it again. It seemed like I heard it for the very first time.
Yeah.
In the message, actually in Ar-Risala, and the character of Ja'far, he stands up in front of the crowd. He says, "Walau kariha al-kafirun." Yeah. Like then I was like, oh, like I don't care what you. I don't
because
care
they actually do hate it. They actually do hate it.
Well, I don't care what you think. Yeah. You hate this. I don't care. This is the haqq. This is the truth.
Yep.
And we'll stand and fight for it
and be proud of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. There's him. I have to give a major shout out to Faiz Khawaja.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Like this guy, when he when during the short time that he and his family lived here in Dallas, he mentored me very well in a very push me to where I'm uncomfortable.
There's a movie, and I can't remember it off the top of my head, but there's a scene, and
Let's see if we can come up with that. If we can help you remember what it is.
I don't know if you guys actually have ever.
Let's try.
Well, so anyway, it's a football movie, and
God,
stop.
I know it.
And so this guy's like, he's like, oh, you think they're any good? Oh, they're gonna beat us anyway. Whatever. He goes, okay. The coach is like, all right. I want you to put him on your back, and we're gonna bear crawl. He goes, how far do you want me to go? 10 foot, 20 yards? What do you think? He goes, I want you to go until you stop, so you can stop. He goes, okay. He goes, but I want you to give me your best. He goes, okay, coach. He goes, no. Your very best. You're gonna promise me you're gonna give me your very best. And so in this scene, he pushes him and he blindfolds him. That way he's not even limited by what he can see. And like, oh, I've gone far enough. No, I want you to give your best. He starts at the end zone and gets to the other end zone.
Yeah.
Bear crawling
with somebody on his back.
Don't know the movie. But that sounds brutal.
To remember it.
Give me a second. I know what you're talking about.
The character's name is Brock. I don't know if that helps. But he bear crawls across the field. As soon as I hear the name, I'm gonna know. I'm like, yes, that's the one. As soon as I hear it, I know I'm gonna recognize it. But that's who he was.
Facing the Giants.
That's the one. Facing the Giants.
I haven't seen the movie, but I think everybody's seen that scene.
Everyone's seen that scene.
Can't say that I have.
And it's one of those, like, it's you think you've pushed yourself until you realize that
you don't know.
You're not gonna be limited by what you can see, and you're gonna go until you can't go.
Yeah,
that's who he was.
It's like when you do your reps, right? You tell yourself, I'm gonna do X amount of reps, but then one day you have the trainer that comes along and says, go until you drop.
Push to fail.
Right? Like you and I, we've been doing this for a while. After every salah, we do X number of push-ups.
These.
Right? So I'm on 55 now. It's October. I've added 5 push-ups for the last since April. I'm at 55 now. But I made the decision every month to move or to increase 5 when the last 5 become easy. But that's just the last 5. Every once in a while, while I'm doing my push-ups, I'll tell myself, you know what? I'm not going to do my number today.
Just push.
I'm going to keep going until my arms can't lift me up anymore.
Yeah.
And that hurts.
And it's at that point that's when you realize what you're really made of.
See, when Muhammad Ali, why was he the greatest? Why was he the GOAT? Because when he did push-ups, when he did jump rope, when he did every one of his exercises, he didn't start counting until it started to hurt. And that's how he became the champ.
He started counting when it started to hurt.
When it
started hurting. Yeah.
Not when he started to give out, not when his arms gave out, but when he started to hurt.
998. 999. That's some Monsters versus Aliens. He's like, oh, the girl's here. 999. 1,000. I don't know if you saw, but I did 1,000 curls earlier.
Right. That's what Fayez was.
So that's and look, and like, you know, so he, by the way, he was the guy who, when he was the youth director here at Mass Dallas, you know, he empowered a lot of us to take on and start our own initiatives and do our own programs. And one of the programs that he pushed me to do, he was like, listen, you love movies. I'm like, yeah, I know I love movies. He's like, okay.
Tell me something I don't know.
He's like, but you also have an eye for drawing moral lessons. I'm like, yeah. He's like, why don't we do a movie night every month at Mass? We'll bust out the projector. We'll make a night of it, sell popcorn, do the whole thing. Okay? But part of the movie watching experience, we will have a discussion. And I'm like, all right.
He's the person that first, I mean, I already loved The Dark Knight. This is a movie that I watched 5 times in the theater.
Good God.
That's saying a lot. Okay. 5 times. I've never watched anything more than 3 times. I've never paid more than $20 million, $5 million for the house in my life. Like, what the?
Okay, thanks. See you then.
Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
This is the movie that I loved through and through. And like, to the point where after the first time, I remember the vivid memory. It was like July 21st, like right after it came out. We saw like the second day or whatever. We went with our cousins. And when the credits rolled, I went, Allah yarhamak Heath Ledger, and I went, can I actually say that? I don't know, but anyway.
No, you can't. But okay.
Anyway, later on, he brought it up in like a lecture or something, and he was talking about a very specific scene in the movie. He talks about when the Joker is talking to Harvey in the hospital, and he's doing that whole and he goes, he is doing what? He's doing the waswasa of the shaitan. He's just putting the idea there. And you just run with it, and you tell me what you think about this. And it makes a little bit of sense. Mm-hmm. It makes a little sense.
And one conversation later, what did he tell him? You live, you die.
Now we're talking. But what he said to him was exactly what he needed to hear to push him over.
Yep.
Which was introduce a little anarchy, upset the established order, and everything becomes chaos. I'm an agent of chaos. Oh, and you know the thing about chaos. It's fair. Which is what he needed to hear.
Dang.
Because his whole thing was, justice. I did everything right.
Yeah.
And look what happened to me and my loved one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Fair.
So he's the one that introduced that. And after hearing that, I've never watched the scene the same way again. Mm-hmm. I'm always because he starts out in the scene very he's responsible for everything and all this and my situation and my love, and then he was he's got a point. What?
Yeah.
And it reminds me of this story. There's a very famous story about the man who was asked to take care of the three brothers, and
the sister,
right? And how he went from I want nothing to do with this to you have to take care of her. It's wrong not to take care of her.
She's by herself.
He went from a righteous worshiper of Allah who secluded himself all the way to an adulterer, to a fornicator,
murderer.
Fathered a child out of wedlock, murderer twice,
liar.
He committed infanticide and he killed the lady too, and homicide. Okay,
and then he ended up prostrating to shaitan.
Ultimately, kufr.
And then that's what he said. I have nothing to do with you. Khalas.
See you later.
I finished. I'm done with you.
He did his job.
Dang.
Yeah.
So Faiz introduced that. He was the one who, at least to me, I don't know if he did this with you guys. Spider-Man 2. Talking about connecting, when Peter Parker no longer had his purpose as Spider-Man, right? Why was this such a great movie? Because of purpose.
Yeah.
When he lost his purpose, he lost his ability. Mm-hmm. And so what's your purpose? What superpower do you have? Did we just go there?
Sent chills down my spine.
Yeah.
So that's Faiz. That he made us.
He made me
see
think.
These things.
Right. He pushed me in my halaqah. I remember he would push us in that capacity and to think deeper.
Yeah.
Not just take it as surface.
Yeah.
It's never just at face value. Even though there is value there, but there is something always more underneath.
He always moved the goalposts. It was never good enough. He was the guy that pushed you to your limit. We were taught by all of our mentors that to be accountable for yourself before Allah hold you accountable. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Faiz actually had us fill out an accountability sheet.
I remember that. Man.
You want to talk about
looking deep in the mirror?
Whoa.
Facing the mirror.
Yeah. It gave us a glimpse.
And that's what concerns me. That's from the now non-canon Clone Wars animated series.
Star Wars.
The 2D one.
The 2D one, yeah.
The legacy.
That was made in the
Cartoon
style
Network.
of Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
Which was just
Beauty Mas Maximus.
video.
So I have to give a honorable. So these were not mentors per se, but they definitely helped shape our lives, right? Khaltu Majida Salim.
Of course.
Yeah.
She's everybody's Islamic studies teacher.
Even Even your mother-in-laws?
Even my mother-in-law, I don't like.
Not even in this country.
You want to talk about coincidence? Wow. Yeah, she was my mother-in-law's Islamic study teacher for a year.
Golly.
Yeah. So yeah, big impact on our lives. Throughout our childhood. Khatamaj the Yusuf.
Yeah.
I guess there was Amunidad had a running. So she's the wife of Amunidad, and he had this running joke that because they were the only two Islamic studies teachers at one point, and it's like you had a condition, for Islamic studies teachers, you had to be your name had to be Majida. But they helped shape our lives big time, right? Khata Samar, right? Our Arabic teacher,
Yeah.
the Jani, Omar, right? These ladies straight up, I kiss their hands straight up. I'm like for what they did to us.
Abdullah, Khata Samira.
100%. She was my mom away from the house.
I remember mom would send us over. Like, I need to clean. Could you please take them over there? I got them. Okay. Go over there.
Yeah. You talk about, this is a village, right?
We literally had a village in the Marymount apartments.
Yep.
Back when we were,
Yep.
those
Kiddos.
days, man. Back in those days.
Yeah.
Good times. I think that's a great place to stop. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. If y'all did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit that post notification down below. I am one of your hosts, Mustafa Talib.
And I'm one of your hosts, Abdulrahman Talib.
And I'm one of your hosts, Ayman Talib.
And we'll see you guys on the next time on Real Talk, Deen and Dunya. Assalamu alaikum.